about what they're doing, and they're sitting there chopping up stuff. It's hard to say one thing and do something else with your hands. So, ready to start?
Yep.
All right. All right, here we go. Here's what we're doing today. Today we have an activity. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to describe a problem to you for which you want to create a database for. And I'll put it up on there as I write it. And we'll spend about a half hour in class, so we'll go to roughly about 8:30. And collaborate with someone, my suggestion is. I suppose if you really don't feel like working with someone, if you're tired or whatever, you can work by yourself. But it would probably be better to collaborate with someone. And what I want you to do is I want you to draw an ERD for the problem. And I want you to write out the tables using the notation where you put the table name and then parentheses and a list of the columns. All right. I'm going to present the problem for you. For those of you watching this at home, I'm going to present the problem to you. I will turn off the mic and they'll turn off the camera. All right. The people in class will work on it. You at home can work on it. All right. And then about a half hour from now, we'll turn the cameras back on and we'll record a little discussion. And we'll cover as much of it as we can, answer any questions. I will show you my answer to it and show you how I got my answer. And if we have time, we may even implement the stuff in an Access database. If not, that might be something that we'll pick up on Tuesday. All right? First of all, the notation I want you to use, I want you to, number one, draw an ERD, which we remember from past. ERDs look like this. Something like this, where you have different entities. So I want you to draw an ERD that looks like that. Then I want you to write out the tables. And the tables might look something like this. Student ID, underline, because remember that's the primary key of the table. And then a list of the other columns in that table. Name, address, and so on. If you happen to have something that is a foreign key, all right, remember a foreign key is what establishes a link between two tables. Put an asterisk next to it. So maybe grade ID. Maybe there's a table that contains a list of all the grades and you put the grade ID in that person's table. I'm not suggesting you do that. That was just an example. All right. Here, so this is what I want you to produce for the problem I'm going to define. The problem I'm going to define is as such. Let's imagine that I am a high school teacher. All right. Single high school teacher. We're not doing this for the whole school. I just want to do it for my own purpose. And I, as a high school teacher, I teach a bunch of classes. Let's say I'm a high school science teacher. I may teach biology, physical sciences, chemistry, physics, whatever. All right. So I teach many classes. All right. Those classes, of course, each have many students. All right. And I suppose it is possible for one student to be in more than one of my classes. So it's possible a student takes chemistry and biology the same year. All right. In each of my class, I have multiple assignments. So I have multiple assignments for each class. Each assignment, though, is only for one class. I don't give the biology class the same assignments I give the chemistry class. I don't ever do that. And I know I will never do that. All right? I might give them similar, but I never give them the same. So an assignment really is only for one class. Each student in my class gets only 1 grade per assignment. So an assignment might be worth so many possible points. So I want to record that. All right. But then I want to record what grade the student got for each assignment. So what do I want to get from this database, me as a high school teacher? I want to see a list of my classes. I want to be able to see a list of all the students that are in each of my classes. So my 10 o'clock biology class, who are the students in that class? I want to see a list of assignments for that class. So for example, in the biology class, maybe there's a lab, another lab, another lab, a quiz, an exam, for example. I then want to see for each of those assignments what each of the students enrolled in that class got as a grade. So maybe quiz 1 was worth 10 points, and Mike got 9 points, Bob got 10 points, Mary got 10 points, and so on down the line. All right? So we're keeping track of the grades for just one teacher. I'll give you a hint. Because we're keeping track of grades for only one teacher, you really don't need a teacher entity. All right? It would be easy enough to add a teacher entity and link it to classes, but we don't need to worry about that. We want to keep this simple and do a grade book just for one single teacher. All right. In doing this, you might have to make assumptions. All right. I've tried to answer all the questions. Like I tried to answer questions like a student can be in more than one class. That's legal. I tried to answer questions like saying that an assignment is only an assignment for one class. We don't give the same lab ever to a biology class that we give to a chemistry class, and so on and so forth. But there may be some things I forgot. So in solving this problem, you can do one of two things. You can either assume something, all right, or you can ask me, and I'll give you the answer off the top of my head. All right? What I want you to produce again is this for this problem. All right? Any questions about what you need to do? I suggest you work together on it. It is about 10 after. We'll go until about 8:35, 8:40, and then we'll discuss my solution to it. All right? Next 20, 25, 30 minutes, we'll work on it. I'll kind of play it by ear. I can usually tell at a certain point when most of the class is talking about the Browns preseason game or whatever, that probably that you're done with it. All right? So I'll kind of play it by ear and judge that. But we'll figure around that amount of time. All right.